Yes, this nerdy former tech employee has insane Rizz. I said it, Hughie Campbell has insane Rizz. A nerdy dude like him was able to get someone like Robin and then Starlight. Dude, it's obvious that he has insane Rizz. And you know what? That is completely and totally realistic. Now, hear me out. I said it and I'll say it again. It's kind of realistic, and I'll explain why, sort of, throughout this video. But I want to talk about this. Hughie does have insane Rizz, but honestly, it's more of this idea that he has this genuine personality on top of that with some mild confidence. Now, does he have confidence issues to a certain extent? Of course. But once he's comfortable, once he gets kind of in the rhythm of things, and on top of that, when he starts being his genuine self, all of that confidence as a genuine person starts to shine off. And don't take my word for it, because obviously I am no, I don't go out and bag a bunch of women or anything like that. Hey, I'm a man of God. But at the same time, Hughie uses genuine interaction and just his personality to truly get women, or basically be in relationships with women that he truly deserves. And I mean that wholeheartedly, right? Like I said, Hughie may be a little bit timid, but he isn't afraid to be himself. And he's not afraid to be that same person around others as well. And we've seen it through the entirety of the Boys series. That's who Hughie is, right? He is that type of person. He is that genuine person. And I want to start with his first relationship being that of Robin. Yes, I know. We didn't see much of Robin. I mean, she wasn't around very long. But Hughie and Robin had really good chemistry. Just like from the jump, you could tell that they had good chemistry. Not only is she gorgeous, but she's also extremely supportive of Hughie in terms of him getting what he deserves, right? And this is the type of woman you want. Someone that is right next to you, that is supportive of you, and on top of that, she is on him about pressing his boss about getting a raise. This is not like you're oh, I need more money. No. This is, you have been doing an amazing job. You always do an amazing job. You're so intelligent, you're smart, and all of the above. You deserve the raise. You deserve more than what you're getting at the moment. And she makes sure that he understands that he deserves more, and that he shouldn't be hesitant. He should have the confidence to be a go-getter and have the confidence to go get what he truly wants. And frankly, that's a lot of what happens in the Boys series. We see this progression of Hughie getting more confident and more confident and more confident. Yes, does he have his fallbacks with the whole idea of him, kind of falling back into that old Hughie, the more, I need to do more for you and stuff like that. And we see that with Starlight a little bit, but I'll talk about that when I get to her. But at the same time, we see the progression that Hughie goes through, and it's genuinely awesome, right? Hughie is an absolute Chad. He really is. And with Robin, the fact that she actually is all of the above, by the way. She is beautiful. She is supportive. She has a sense of humor. And the dude didn't even end up getting her. He didn't do some oh, I'm going to treat you all right, and I'm going to treat you this, do that. No. He was so timid that he wouldn't ask her out. So she asked him out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro, but that is pretty crazy to me. Look, all I know is maybe I'm traditional, maybe I'm tripping, I don't know, maybe I'm losing my mind, but for the most part, my understanding, the man normally makes the first move, or at least tries to look for signals so he can make that first move. I mean, Robin, I guarantee you, was making all the signals in the world and was like, you know what, F it, this guy is amazing, this guy is right for me, and I want him further in my life, so I'm just gonna go ask him out. That's the type of person Hughie is, and that's the type of person that Robin really wanted in her life as a permanent mainstay. That's the type of person she wanted as a boyfriend and probably a future husband, right? That's the type of person that she wanted. And it says a lot about Hughie, right? It does say also a lot about Robin, but unfortunately Robin wasn't around too often or too long. But it does say a lot about Hughie. It says that his personality, his genuine nature, that frankly just who he is when he's comfortable and when he knows you, when he likes you, when he's all the above, when he's really in a state of just enjoying himself and enjoying your company. He's the type of dude to really, really, really make you feel good and special. And I don't want that might be an Ayo thing to say coming out of my mouth, but it's the truth, and that's obviously the case. And some of you are probably like, I mean, how does this make sense? Like, he has insane Rizz. Like, come on, dude. Like, he's not even really bagging these girls on his own. Like, they're doing it for him. They're asking him out and stuff like that. But to be honest, that kind of shows even more, and probably more, gentleman's Rizz, which kind of sounds cringy coming out of my mouth, but it is low-key like more gentleman's Rizz for him to basically just be himself, be a genuine person, hold out the helping hand, and be just flat out a person that people would want in their lives. So much so that these girls would ask him out. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. And I know some people, or some people that maybe watching this video might be like, well, it's more of like an unspoken Rizz type of thing, or maybe it's more of like a different type of Rizz, right? Like, that's what I'm saying, right? It's a different type of confidence. It's a different type of personality, you could even say. And I truly believe that Hughie is basically the type of person to be able to really get whoever he wants. And I'm not going to say this lightly. I know he's built up to be some sort of nerd in the show and stuff like that, but I'm glad they represent him exactly for what he is. Because he might be nerdy. He might be a little, on the more kind of softer side. But he's not a bad looking dude or anything. I mean, in the comics, he was like a short, stubby, whatever, right? But in this, he's a good looking dude. And hey, man, I don't swing that way, but I can respect when a dude looks pretty decent. And I can admit, he looks pretty damn good. So the fact that they allow him to represent that, they allow him to be who he is, in the show, at least as a person. I don't know how he is in real life, but hey, I'm gonna get to that a little bit. So I think he's pretty damn good in real life too. But that's beyond the point, at least for now. He basically shows off a ton of personality. He's just himself. He's confident, at least in his own way. He's confident, right? And he's able to like talk to these women, someone like Robin, and then obviously Starlight, which I want to get into her right now. Because I'm not going to lie, I can't talk much more about Robin because, of A-Train. A-Train. Yeah, so that was sad, but I won't get into that because I don't want to get demonetized. Now, going into Starlight, it all started on a park bench, right? It was something very simple. But I always say this. When I go out, or when I try to go out, because I'm not going to lie, I am stuck behind a computer screen quite a lot nowadays, but when I do try to go out, I try and basically be friendly as much as possible. I'm not gonna lie, I used to be very social. Like, I would not be scared to talk to people. I would always try to talk to people. Nowadays, it's more like I go out and I'm like, I don't really want to talk to you. Like, I'm not trying to talk to anybody. I'm just trying to get what I gotta get done, and then that's it. But I do try my best to, say like, yeah, hello, or have a good day, good morning, whatever, right? That I try my best to do that. Keeps you mentally sane for the most part. And really, Hughie puts that into practice very heavily. I'm not sure if you guys have seen these YouTube shorts of a guy walking down the street. I'm not 100% sure where it's from, but he is that type of person where you're walking down the street and he's gonna be like, oh, hey, how are you doing today? Oh, hey, oh, you're looking really good today. Or hey, like, I really like your t-shirts. Oh, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of person Hughie is. And it all started on that park bench, right? With Starlight, the park bench, and he flat out just reached out. He sat down, she was crying, and he asked her, hey, are you okay? Like, I know you don't know me, and that's all right. I want to know, like, are you all right? Is everything all right? Like, is there anything I could do, right? Like, that's the type of person, that genuine person he really is. And some will call this using someone's vulnerability, but honestly, if it's used in the right hands, it's not using someone's vulnerability. If you as a person are good enough, and you are a more genuine and heartfelt person, and just a flat out good person in general, you will never use someone's vulnerability in that way, right? Because I know what some people are thinking, like, oh, you're gonna try to get in with her because, oh, she just went through a breakup and that's why she's crying, right? For example, that's a horrible thing to do, but I'm not even here to rant about that. I'm here to talk about this because this isn't him using his vulnerability. This is him literally being a human being, a genuine person, asking how they are doing, treating them like a human being. And you know, in the world of the boys, this goes a long way, because treating someone that is very not, your normal, typical human, being that Starlight is a superhero. Now, treating them like a human, like a regular person, hey, how are you doing? Asking them what's wrong, and just being kind and being honest is something that is amazing. And that's why Starlight really fell for him in the first place, right? Being that genuine person, being that nice person to chat with, being that person that you could sit down and you don't have to basically have these strings attached to whatever conversation or whatever you could even possibly think of. This right here is what Starlight needed, especially at that time. And of course, they would meet up eventually when Hughie's actually runs into her at a train's race, I believe, and they basically talk for a little bit. They chatted up, and Butcher's like slightly impressed. I mean, Butcher's like freaking like bloody. I think he says, "Bloody hell, Hughie! Like, Starlight? Like, that's pretty crazy." And frankly, I would be given the same reaction to Hughie as well. I'd be going like, "Wait, you're telling me that you knew Starlight, and now you're about to get her number? Like, that is absolutely insane." And by the way, just so you know, history repeats itself because, well, it seems as if Hughie gets Starlight's number by Starlight offering it, which to me, that's a guy's dream. I'm not gonna lie, or at least an introverted guy's dream. I don't know how you extroverted guys are for the most part. Hey, if anybody who's like, absolutely elite with their confidence and Rizz and stuff like that, let me know in the comment section below. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how many of you are gonna be commenting on a video about a boy's video. I don't know, that's beyond the point. But let me know, like, would you want a female to be like, oh, do you want my number? Like, does that help your confidence? Does that make you feel better? Does that whatever, right? For me personally, I think it would be awesome for a female or a woman to be like, oh, here's my number, like, you take my number, or hey, would you like my number? That's pretty damn awesome, and that would make me feel pretty damn good. Obviously asking them is the most direct way or the most direct approach, but being offered it, shoot, that must feel pretty damn good. And if I'm Hughie in this situation, I'm feeling pretty damn good about it too. Like, that is pretty wild that this superhero, and it's even different with this because we're talking about Starlight. She's part of the Seven, newest member of the Seven, popular superhero, right? It's Starlight. And she was like, oh, do you want my number? Like, that is pretty crazy. And frankly, their wholesomeness continues on and on and on, right? You get the whole, like, they have the whole bowling scene where he basically tells her, like, okay, you're gonna stop, like, playing around, like, you're gonna stop, like, inflating my ego, like, come on, like, play the game now. And she just, like, bowls it and just strikes immediately, like, boom, done. And Hughie knew, right? Hughie knew that she was holding back, but he turned it into, like, a comedic thing. And frankly, that has a lot to do with his personality. And we see this all the time. We see this kind of gaining of, like, this love between Starlight and Hughie. We see these wholesome scenes. I mean, all I know is if I'm in a car with my girlfriend and we're sitting there singing Billy Joel, I don't know about you, but this is a life I'm trying to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a great life. And frankly, Hughie just lives it up to the maximum, and he's able to get some of the most beautiful women in the absolute like, scene of the boys. And that's why I said there is another person I want to talk about, because I've heard that Victoria Newman and Hughie, or the actor and actress, are actually dating. And this would make a ton of sense. And the reason for this, not because of anything specific, but because their chemistry on screen is absolutely insane. Like, it is amazing, right? It is super, super good. And the fact that this dude was able to pull Robin, Starlight, and Victoria Newman blows my freaking mind. And I think it's absolutely awesome. But I do think it's realistic, man. I do think it's realistic. And I think I saw a video about this before, and people were talking about it. And they were like, hey, it's not as crazy as you think, because confidence is truly key. And frankly, and they even said something very similar to what I said, that Hughie isn't that, like, he's not ugly or anything. Like, he's a decently looking dude. And you add a little bit of confidence to that, you add a little bit of a genuine human being to that, and you add a little bit of chivalry as well. I mean, we are talking about an amazing person, amazing dude, and probably a lot of females would want to date someone like Hughie Campbell. Now, with that said, I want to ask you guys, what do you think about Hughie? Like, what do you genuinely think about Hughie from The Boys? I know he has some his moments with confidence issues. I know he has some moments in the show where, you know, he's a bit of a punching bag sometimes, and, you know, I feel bad for my boy from time to time. So I had to make this video because he really is that dude. He really is a dope character, man. And I think it's awesome to give someone that's nerdy, that is more of like, that we can genuinely kind of relate to, quote unquote, right? We can relate a little bit more to him than anyone else, and or at least I can. And it's proof that a little bit of confidence, a little bit of genuineness, or being genuine as a person, being a genuine person, being a good dude, being, you know, chivalrous to a certain extent, all of these things, it goes into finding yourself the love of your life, or finding yourself someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And that's the flat out truth. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say. What do you think about Hughie? What do you think about the idea of Hughie from The Boys having this insane Rizz? And also, at the end of the day, I am a comic casual, so I'm sure you guys have some examples that you want to throw in there. Maybe from the comics, maybe from the show, that I didn't actually talk about today. Because I'm going to be honest, I could go through every single scene, but I'd be here for the next 45, 50 minutes. And my editor would absolutely hate me. So I won't be doing that. Now, with that said, though, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And make sure to just flat out enjoy the video and take it with a grain of salt. This is my opinion, of course. But like I said, I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, YouTube thinks that you'll enjoy this one, so might as well go check it out.